man, that Lakers and Suns game, man. CP3 obviously dealing with the little shoulder injury that he had in the game, and then the Bron fall out of the sky. He hurt his arm. Scuffle.
Did you see the Oscars tweet?
Oh my god!
Please
bro.
tell me you saw it.
I didn't know what they say.
Oh no, it was photoshopped so good. It was edited so good. It was basically, the scene starts off, someone's about to announce an Oscar award.
Oh my god!
And the three nominees, it's like, I know it was like 4 or 5 nominees, four or 5 big name actors, and then LeBron's in it. And then all of a sudden they cut to LeBron James wins, and like this might have been at the ESPYs or something, but they cut to like him walking up on stage about to receive the award. It was so good. It was so good.
But when I see it, I'm just like, what the heck is happening here? I'm like, my wifey's like, yo, did he really hurt? I'm trying to feel. I'm like, babe, is it the pec? I don't know. Is it the like? I don't know what he's grabbing. I don't know why he fell like that, or why he can't walk all of a sudden. You saw CP Chris Paul trying to pick him up. He's like, I'm like, oh, did you get shot? Like, what's going on? Is it the leg? Is it the knee? Is it the chest? Is it the back? Is it the arm? Like, that was funny, man. But as a whole, in that game, AD, he's the one. Anthony Davis, bro. Like, and the crazy part is, he does do that from time to time. I feel like he's one of those, like, he's a star, but he reminds me of like just a beta versus like being a true alpha, like a dog. Like, he just,
he couldn't carry a team.
Yeah, and I think that's why you see him play a lot better here in LA more consistently than obviously he was in New Orleans, and he had to be the.
I mean, he put up crazy stats,
right? But you could just tell, like, it kind of remind me of Kevin Love at times, where it's like you're scoring a ton, you're double, triple, but it's meaningless. It's not impactful, right? The game is already over. Now, we know he had series where, I think it was the Portland series, right? When he was in New Orleans, where he went off and won it by himself, was putting 50 up, and it was dope. But then we saw the next series where it kind of dropped back off. You got to do it
for 4 series to win a championship.
And it's just like he picks and chooses when he's going to show up like that. And that was the case, man. I felt like, dude, watching DeAndre Ayton, I'm like, I like DeAndre, but I don't like him like that. Like, he was out here schooling AD. That was the crazy part to me. Like, Devin Booker went crazy, and he should have. Like, we love Devin. Devin can hoop. Like, ever since the bubble last year, he kind of, showed everybody what he can really do against the best of the best. Because I was out in Phoenix, they're not on TV to the same extent. I mean, they're the 2 seed, and a lot of people didn't even know they were good like that. It's like, no, they're legit, man. Shout out to CP3 for that. But the big thing is, like, AD got to show up. He has to give me more, man. He has to produce way more than that, man.
It might have not just been AD, though, because LeBron, what do you have? 8 points in the first 4 or 5 minutes. Then he just had 10 the remaining in the rest of the game. So I'm guessing just first game.
Yeah.
Weird vibes, last of the games. Well, almost like last year with the Lakers Rockets, right?
Yes.
That's what it was.
Well, because I was going to say Lakers Rocket, and wasn't it Lakers Portland as well? Similar standpoint.
Yeah, they lose.
It was back to back. They lost game ones. They lost game one, back to back until they got to the Western Conference Finals. Where did they lose game one versus the Nuggets?
I can't remember.
I don't remember either. But like, they did that a lot. So to me, I was thinking to myself, well, maybe you got the hangover from the plan, because that was a one-off. Like, you had to get it.
Still not completely there either.
Well, and LeBron's still not completely
meshing,
healthy.
Yeah.
Well, and I was like, this is what LeBron's his 4th game back, but 3rd in a row right now. Because remember, he had came back, set a game, came back, play in, and then obviously this one. So I'm like, all right, we'll chalk that up to the rest. But for AD, I'm like, AD's been back. So that's why for me, I was more so looking at him, because I'm like, I expect Bron's still going to be Bron, but he might be a little rusty early on. But AD, you've been playing for a little, almost a month now. Like, he came back way before Bron did, had way more time to get back in shape, get his shot going, get his legs back under him. You can't do that in the playoffs. That's my thing.
And you would just think too, I don't know what it is, but usually once a dude wins a championship, like, the weight's off their shoulders. They could play way more free.
Yeah.
But to see some of this stuff, I mean, it's one game right now in the playoffs, so we'll see what AD does here on out. But if you see this happening, it's almost the opposite effect of what you would think. It's maybe just like championship or not, this is kind of what AD is. He's not the type of dude that's just all of a sudden now going to take over, be the franchise guy, the dude that you could count on. Like, at some point, maybe you're going to have to pair him with like a stud that's maybe 1A to his 1B.
Right. I mean, AD could be a Paul George. You think about Paul George, right? Paul George is a star. but we don't classify him in the same vein of your Kawhis, of your KDs, of your, your bronze stuff like that. He's kind of like in that B tier of those stars, the beta version, right? Not a true alpha. He hasn't been able to lead a team by himself. Even when he was in Indiana, it was him, Danny Granger, and Roy Hibbert.
Those were interesting teams.
They were, but they still could never get it done with just that group. They needed more. They needed another alpha. And obviously we've seen Paul George with Kawhi. And even though Kawhi is a superstar, he still isn't as assertive as some of the other guys that we are accustomed to seeing from a superstar standpoint. You can just see how those two guys and their dynamic, it's challenging, because nobody really is the guy, right? To just like, I got this. Like, it's me. So I'm like, maybe AD is like that. But as long as he's paired with healthy Bron, he's good. But if Bron is coming back and it's going to be all right, he might be good on this night, might be a little rusty on this night, or might be a little tired on this night. Well, AD, you're going to have to play a lot more consistently at that high end level versus that low end, just let me ride your coattail level.
You know what this game reminded me of?
Uh-oh.
It's actually not too far into the past.
Uh-oh.
It was the Warriors playing game. Because Lakers were down double digits. There'd be points throughout the game where they'd get it closer, single digits. Mm-hmm. But then when it started to hit third, fourth quarter, Lakers started to pick it up a little bit.
Yes,
but the Suns were just a better team. Like Booker started hitting shots, or not started hitting shots, continued to hit shots. But then the Suns team in general, like they make a pass, like Bridges would hit an open shot, like you said, Ayton.
Yeah.
They had a really nice squad as opposed to the Warriors. It was just really Steph.
Yeah. But it is still crazy though, as bad as we're talking about AD's playing and Bron not, giving us typical Bron performance. They only lost by 9. Yeah. They still had chances at the end. That was the funny part. It's like 2 minutes left in the game, they're down 10, and I'm like, they're really one shot away from being right back in this thing. Like,
Suns just weren't stopping them.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Any other takes on NBA games around the league?
John Morant, he's real. I can't wait to see him.
You know what? I did have that one on last night. I couldn't believe that.
He's real.
Jazz didn't have Donovan Mitchell.
That's what I'm ready to see when he comes back. He wants to come back game 2. He was pissed that he didn't play in game 1, but he's up with an ankle injury. So when you're coming back from injury, it's just one of them things. But yeah.
Yeah, Gobert wasn't really doing too much with the Jazz either.
Jazz on one. You saw what he did to Steph and them boys. Sent them home.
That'll be interesting because you wouldn't really think of this game as a 1-8. I think of it more as like a 4-5 or a 3-6.
True.
Jazz being the 1 seed. I don't care that they're the 1 seed.
Think about that, what you said right there, right? So Jazz are a 1 seed. Suns are a 2 seed. So you got 1-8 Jazz Memphis, where we talked about it feels like a 4 or 5, and then you got 2-7. But you feel like it should be reversed. It should be the Lakers are the 2 seed, and then the Suns are the 7. This is one of them years, man.
Are you concerned about the Lakers at all going forward?
Nah. If
do you have a percentage chance that you give the Suns right now of winning the series?
Nah. If Bron's healthy, Bron's gonna win the series. Period.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's all predicated on, and that's with AD showing up or not. It's just one. Bron's not gonna have to work as hard if AD shows up, and hopefully, if he doesn't have to work as hard, he's gonna last a lot longer through the playoffs. If AD doesn't show up, well, now Bron's going to have to, empty that load a little bit earlier. And I think that affects him later down the line in the postseason when we're talking Western Conference Finals and things like that. Could potentially see, him slow down in that part of the season or that part of the postseason. So that's what I'm more worried about. I feel like they get out of this, though, because they don't have an answer for Bron. If Bron plays like how Bron plays, they still couldn't even think about quiet Bron. That was quiet Bron yesterday. They still were in it the whole time. That's my thing. I'm like, if Bron plays like how Bron plays, which we know he's going to show up.
We're ripping on AD, but LeBron wasn't himself yesterday.
Right. But it's like Bron's going to show up. That's been the one constant throughout his career. He might have one off game, but he's going to bounce back. With AD, that's the wild card. That's the one where it's like, all right, is he going to show up this series or is he just going to take it off? Like, you just never know.
I'm sure he will. Yeah. He'll at least give you 2 or 3 games, maybe 30, 40 points.
That's all we need. I need one AD game. I just need one AD game.
CP3 injury, though.
That's the interesting one. Because you saw he's like his handle was all wacky after that too, man.
That just sucks for him, dude.
Yeah.
He can't catch a break. Like this might be legitimately, the one with the Rockets for sure, because they were
crazy. They should have won that series.
Yeah, they were up on the Warriors, but this one, Lakers are down this year. Like the teams that should be the best going into this one were down. Like the Suns legitimately, depending on how you felt about the Jazz, I still don't have any faith in the Jazz. Like You could have said the Suns might have been the best team going into this playoffs based off the regular season, just how everything was gelling. Obviously, a lot of people are going to pick the Lakers just because of LeBron, even though they're a 7 seed. But they're down compared to what they were last year, which is crazy because I think their roster's better. It's just all the injuries.
Yeah. This is crazy, though, bro.
Hey, it should be good playoffs. Luka and Mavs, they beat the Clippers, too.
Again. I like Luka's energy, though, bro.
This one might be legit, though, this year. Like last year, you were just like, all right, this might be just the first time, Luka's first coming out party. Bro. Not really going to win.
Big talk, too.
Oh, to Beverly. You had to like that, huh?
I didn't know Luka had that. Now, I started researching more. They say that's what Luka does, why he gets all this text. So I was like, okay, because I know he gets a lot of text. I just didn't know why. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But they say he talks like that a lot. So now I'm even more enamored because you know how I feel. If you're my superstar, like, give me that. I like Kawhi, but he's too quiet for me. I want you to, like, you know how Bron he gonna give you that look, like, give me that, Luka. And when I saw Luka,
his team's trash too. Like if they pull it off,
not trash.
What do you mean?
Shout out to my dog Dorian Finney-Smith, man. He from the crib, 757. All right, he's not trash. Everybody else can say it's trash. Dorian Finney-Smith is not trash. Okay. He is from the 757. All right. Portsmouth, actually, man.
It's one of those things. Anyone from the 757 can say it.
Well, mainly anybody from the 757, but more so him because, like I said, like me and his brother, we grew up, you know what I'm saying, playing middle school, high school together, competing against each other, like, know his family, like, they good people. So it's like, yo, I like them. I like him.
The rest of their depth chart.
The
rest of their depth chart's trash.
Yeah. I tune in for Luka and Dorian. That's it. All right.
I mean, Porzingis is your number 2. That's not the best. He's fine. Always hurt, though.
Is he like Anthony Davis light? Is he Anthony Davis like the diet version right now?
I don't know. He's just always hurt, man. Apparently, they had a tough relationship, too, throughout their couple years in the Mavs. Doncic and Porzingis, I don't know if they got along completely. That's what Cuban was saying. I can't remember.
Who's the better big man?
Listen, dude. I'm not gonna get into all this because I haven't really watched an NBA game all season up to this point. I listen from afar. I stay up on the headlines and stuff.
Dude, it's my sport right here. I need my hoops, man.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's cool though because
it's like that beautiful time of year.
It really is. It's better than last year too because this is the dead time in between NFL news, NFL things.